Hi everybody, thanks for joining me here in the studio today. I really appreciate it. We always appreciate you guys, all our loyal followers and subscribers. It really totally means a lot to us. Okay, a couple exciting things. I am getting out of town for the very first time since the pandemic, so I'm going to the coast for a few days. Got my plein air stuff already all packed to go. I'm bringing, let's see, what am I bringing? I'm bringing watercolors and 2 sketchbooks, my craft sketchbook and my Pentalic. And what else have I got? Oh, the book that I'm bringing is a little light reading, haha. Edgar Payne's outdoor composition of outdoor painting. So I'm planning a really great weekend of seeing lots of waves and the rocky coastline of Oregon, little painting, lots of picture taking. So I'm really looking forward to a great weekend, extended weekend. So it's really, really nice. But before I go, I'm going to paint for you. And I also want to make sure that you know we only have 2 more weeks left in our summer sale for the monthly pastel painting lessons online. So just make sure you head over to the website, paintinglessonswithmarla.com, and check it out because it's such a great deal. There's so much content there. There's 3 years now of content, and you get access. If you subscribe to the monthly, you get 3 sessions at a time. If you are a yearly subscriber, you get access to the entire library 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you want. So it really provides such a consistent, persistent study of pastel painting lessons. And this is the greatest time to sign up. There's a coupon code in the description of the video for $37 off the subscription for new subscriptions and $37 off any order. It doesn't apply to renewals, sorry. So again, you can either pay monthly and get access to 3 sessions at a time, or for a one-time annual payment, you get access to all 36 sessions. And that includes over 200 videos, 36 study guides, and on and on and on. And we have added tons of new features like the super stream. So you get a monthly super stream, which is a totally in-depth lesson that focuses on usually a fundamental of painting. And the super streams now feature critiques. So students can upload images, and I select 2 or 3 to critique for every one of our super streams. Also, you're going to get the monthly mileage trainings, which are little exercises just to keep you going even when you can't do a complete painting or a complete lesson. Just little exercises, a sketchbook exercise, a pastel exercise, and a creativity cultivator. So those are really fun, and I really love doing those for you guys. So there's that, and another new feature of the monthly sessions is I'm now doing an extra video that's a session wrap-up where I get to really kind of put a bow on the session and tell you what I think of it and where you might head after you're done with the lessons in that month's session. So lots of really cool new stuff. So make sure you head over to paintinglessonswithmarla.com and check it out. Because again, there's only a couple more weeks of the sale going on right now. Okay, so on to today's demo, which I'm sorry, you guys. I just selected something that I just really love to paint, and this kind of reference is just right up my alley. I just love it. I love the soft, kind of diffuse light that's spilling into the little nooks and crannies of this scene. I love the little bit of water, just that hint of water, and the little wispy grasses coming up in front of the water, the little sparkles on the water. What else? Oh, the colors too. I really, really love those soft greens with the really, really soft, hot, kind of high-key yellows in there. It's really, really pretty. Now, a couple of things about this reference photo that I think are a little the challenge for me here is those 2 in the middle distance. There's 2 tree trunks that are, you know, like making a really strong straight V. And I'm not super wild about that. So I think I'm going to switch that up a little bit. And then behind those two are two darker ones. I like those. Then there's this right here, this guy right here. He's really close to the edge of the picture plane or the edge of the photo. And so I think I'm going to bring it in just a tiny bit because I don't want it to be like right there on the edge. That might be a problem. I could in fact, maybe I should just eliminate it. I hadn't thought about that. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just kind of crop in a little bit more. Let's try that. I'm going to get a piece of tape. Where's the tape? Kevin, have you seen the tape? Black tape? I'll use this. This is fine. Oh, I have it right here. Oh, boy.
Perfect.
Stuff. And I'm sorry, you guys, I have my Giraud still sitting on top of my tray, and I just haven't quite decided what to do here. So let's see. What if I crop out? I think maybe that's good. I do like that tree branch, but maybe I don't need it. Maybe I'll crop this a little bit like this. And maybe I'll crop out. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to work with it just like this. I think I can make it happen. Okay. All right, let me put up my hair. Yeah, I don't think it really hit me until last night when I'm going, boy, I'm really looking forward to seeing some different scenery, seeing some stuff, and I haven't been out and about at all in all this time, so it's kind of, I think, going to be kind of relieving. So here's my, basically my picture plane here. I think that kind of proportion is something I want. Okay. And I've got a little test area here. I'm using the Light Green Pastelmat today. Again, just if you guys have been watching me lately, know that I'm trying really consciously to lighten up the value overall, the key of my paintings overall, so that just a little lighter paper, I think, is really helpful. And so just getting some of this, the gesture of these guys in here. Oh, I wanted to say too, I've been, I don't always do a perfect job of getting on Facebook and seeing everything everybody's doing, but I have been trying to see, and lately I've been just so impressed with what everybody's posting, and also on the public group, that, because I know some of you guys that aren't yet members, I hope you consider signing up for the monthly lessons, but some of you that are posting in the public group, I have seen some amazing stuff. So it's really cool. It really makes me proud, and it really makes me proud that everybody is so encouraging and helpful, and we've just kind of built a really great community. Okay, so here's a cast shadow coming across here a little bit, and this is the grasses in here. There's some foliage that's silhouetting. Now here's my guys that are really upright, right? So I want to just maybe give them a little bit more angle, maybe something a little bit like that. I think will work. And then the two darker ones, actually this one's in front. That's interesting now that I see it. And this one is doing that. And then I've got this, there's this log right here, couple logs. And all this crazy foliage in here. This is kind of in a soft shadow right here. And then the edge of my bank is doing something like that. So the water's coming off here. This is water, 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 grass. There's little leaves floating in the water. It's kind of fun. All right.
Here's a question for you, Marla.
Yeah.
I don't have any blue paper. Should I use beige or medium gray?
Medium gray is fine. Either one is fine. Most of the time, I think it's more the value of the paper than anything else. I think it's, you know. Okay. I think that's enough. Now the first thing I want to do is kind of stain in some color. That's, and I'm going to start with some of that light that's behind. That's maybe a bit much, something a little greener. That's a little better. So I'm just going to come in real light and get those little bright lights that are behind. Just kind of staining in a little bit of color. Okay, now I want some of that green. I'm going to go for that. Doesn't make me happy. Let's see. I'm actually going to do this. This is more aqua than it is green, but it's kind of somehow feels right and it makes me happy. So now I'll put a little bit more of this, what I would say, what I see there. Okay, now how about some of that kind of gold tones in the and the water, to me, it looks really purple. So I'm just going to go ahead and have fun with it and add this in right now. I'm going to start here. And then a little, this is kind of brown. And then back, the water in the distance also feels pretty purple to me. It's so sparkly. I'm just getting a couple things in to kind of tell me a little bit about the value relationships. Then it's got these beautiful, the little yellow leaves that are floating around in the water. So pretty. And so some of them are in shadow and some of them are in light. So how do we do that? How do we distinguish between those? So some of them, it's a little cluster of them like so, that are in shadow.
Just a quick question, is the jury still out whether or not you're going to mix those girots in?
Yes, I haven't decided.
Haven't decided.
I haven't decided. I'm so, yeah. Yes, the jury is still out. If I had 2 sets, I wouldn't have a problem, but I don't. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now because I'm going to use this in my grass. Now I'm going to bounce around a little bit more to some other spots in my painting here. Not sure I have the value right on these dots or the leaves. That might not be quite right, so I'll swing back around to that. Let's see how I feel about it in just a little bit.
Here are 2 questions.
Okay.
Do pastels ever get too old to use? And do Rembrandt soft pastels have some kind of coating on the sticks?
So Rembrandts don't have a coating. They're just a little harder. Yeah, I don't think that they really necessarily have a coating. And good pastels that are pure pigment with a binder don't go bad. So you should be able to use them. Even ones that you might have been given by someone that are really old, they should be fine. That's one of the really wonderful things about them. Get in here, get in some of this background. And there's this kind of soft purple thing going on here. Right now I have kind of a mess. That's okay. I like it when it's like that. It's me a challenge. Whoop. Light touch. So now starting to get that depth of field going a little bit. That's good.
And do you ever use a pastel pencil for fine detail?
I rarely would do that. Very, very rarely. I just find that I have enough flexibility with the sticks that I have that I don't really find that I don't need it very often.
I will say that you use them in Kitty and Friends.
I use them in Kitty and Friends. We use them on the duck too.
Yeah, we use them on the duck. It was the Mandarin duck, right? In
Yeah.
Kitty and Friends.
Didn't we use them? We used them on. We did a session on chickens and ducks for the monthly, and we used them on the duckling.
That's right.
So.
Every once in a while.
Every now and then we bust them out. Not afraid to use them. That's good. This guy has really interesting color on it. It's really pretty. It's got some purple. And then there's this kind of grayed purple in here. Which is fun. So just getting a little quality of light back in there, that's nice. And more green, and there's a lot of color back in here. Oh, that's not right. Let's see. Let's see what else would be fun to do. Taking out a few things. Yeah, I'd really like to get the right value on these little wispy things before I go too much further. Let's see if I can get it. Some of it is getting the value of what's around it. It's kind of a fun painting. So it got those cool kind of abstract qualities. All right, let's get some of the background in. Then I'm gonna bring in some stuff to just kind of tie it together a little bit more. The sky. That'll be fun. Let's see. Oh, before I do that, I lied. I always do that. I'm going to do this, and no, I'm going to do this instead. I want to bring in something even lighter right in here, because it's really so bright and light. And there's this light on the water. Which is super fun. And that's that.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Said that you were trying to go lighter in your paintings.
Yeah.
How does this affect the values? Are you lightening up the dark values because it doesn't seem so?
Just overall, so particularly in the backgrounds, I'm going to be lightening up. Also, I'm starting on lighter paper, so the key of the whole thing from the get-go, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to use a full value range, because I am. That's not really what I'm only referring to. I'm not suggesting that I'm going to make a compressed value range. That's not really, I'm talking about just the overall, the overarching feeling of the paintings. So lightening the value of the paper, starting with a lighter value paper, thinking about that background as having, not going quite so dark in the background as I might have in the past. that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm still using some of those really cool darks for sure. Okay, how about some sky? I'm going to use almost white or white. And just knit in some of this.
Another question.
Yep.
Are hard pastels difficult to work with?
No, I don't think so. It depends. It really depends on what you're doing, really, right? I like them a lot for the beginning stages of painting. So using them in a almost thinking about them as putting them down like a wash. Let's see. Keep track of where I am here. I've got some leaves that are in shadow kind of coming across, and I want to get a couple more of those going.
Another question. Do pastel paintings fade if hung where they get direct sunlight?
No. What's really important, any artwork you really want to keep out of direct sunlight for one thing, no matter what it is, no matter what media it is. Pastel is not fugitive any more than any other media. In fact, because there's no medium in there, there's just pure pigment in a binder. It's very, very archival. When you see paintings in pastels in museums that are under low light, it's not because of the pastels that they're doing that. It's because of the surfaces, the substrates that artists used in the past that were not archival. So it's not actually the pastel that's fading. So it's kind of interesting that way. They're really, really stable. trying to get it. So see this background here? This is what I'm talking about, staying lighter. In the past, I might have had a tendency to go ahead and get this a little on the dark side. And I think that detracts from the quality of aerial perspective that you might want. I'm just always trying to, push my own limits and, see how to get better and how to move myself along. Yeah, there's some kind of fun things going on here. Let's see what I got. I'm going to step back a little bit and see. Oh, it's a little messy. It's okay.
Is pastel dust, if you ever get it on your clothes, is it hard to wash out? Should you always wear an apron?
It isn't really hard to wash out. It's fine. In fact, a lot of times I don't wear an apron. Yeah. When I'm left to my own devices here in the studio.
Also, how do you layer a painting without getting a muddy look?
Okay, one of the things that I think is really important is just stay as thin as you can for as long as you can. And so I'm intentionally starting with the thinner layers. And if I'm unsure about a value relationship, I'm going to, in particular, try to apply the pastel in a thin wash-like way at first until I'm certain about the value relationships. And then as I get more confident with the relationships, then I can go ahead and get a little thicker if I want to, if I need to. But at the outset, I'm going to try to stay thin. I like this section. It feels really nice and kind of ethereal. I'm going to work on the water a little bit. I'd sure like to get those little leaf shapes going. Let's see if I can get that to work. And I don't need all of them. I just want a hint. So let's see if I can get that. One's in the shadow. That's a little better. And then the ones that are in the light, I don't think that they have that much chroma. I think they're a little softer. It's starting to get it. They're clustered together. There's some over here, kind of poking through the grasses. And that water's got some interesting color to it. It's got some kind of red, I see some red tone in there. Now up here in the water, I want that cast shadow. There's a little log and it's casting a shadow on the water, and I'd sure like to get that too. Little sparkles in the water.
Here's another question. I have trouble controlling the blocky pastels like Blue Earth, as opposed to the sticks like Giraud's and SUMMERYEAR's. Tips for handling chunky pastels?
Yeah, that's a good question. Again, you know, I really think just cultivating that light touch is really, really important, no matter what brand you're using, really, so that you're, you know, I'm using the whole pastel. So if you haven't taken that, a good question would be, have you taken the wrappers off? Because if you take the wrappers off, then you can, you know, on a say a Terry Ludwig like this. Well, let's take one that would normally have its wrapper on. So let's say this is a unison. If it's got its wrapper on, you can only use the ends. But if it's got the wrappers off, you can use all the edges like that. You can do that. You can do all kinds of things with it. But if it's got the wrapper on, you're really, really limited with what you can do with it. So you got to, first and foremost, the wrappers have to come off all the pastels. And I know that's, you know, hard, because I know it's really hard. You get new pastels and you think, oh, you know, it's really, they're so pristine, they're so nice, I don't want to take the wrapper off. But having the wrapper off is a big deal. And then just practicing. Okay, I think I'm picking on this too much, and I'm kind of losing what I was after there. So I don't want to. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stop. And I want some of these grasses. I like this section. This is my favorite part back here. I like that section. Has a kind of nice feel to it. What else? What else do I want to do? I think just a little more color. We'll soften some of this. And some idea of these leaf shapes down here. Just in between the grasses. So then they kind of make more sense in the water. And this, I think, is too dark. Lighten that up a little bit. I don't like the shape of that. So now to me, this is, I've got a lot going on here, and to me it's just really about just refining the shapes. Do I want all these darks? What else do I want in here? What else do I want to say? Kind of like that. Yeah, I like that kind of ethereal feel back there. I think this could even go lighter. Back in here. Here and there.
And can you tell us a little bit about the paper you're using? Did you cut that down from a large sheet?
No, this was from a pad. This is Pastelmat, and I do like their pads, but you know, it depends. I'll also buy the sheets. Kind of just depends, really. Now see, when I'm confident about the value and what I've got set up, then I'm not afraid to go in there and really press hard. See, I'm really pushing to get to carve out these shapes that I want. But once, I'm only doing that once I'm really sure. And then there's all kinds of fun things you could do over here, and could play with this and carve out some more secondary shapes. I don't want to get those too bright. I want them to set back there a little bit. I'm going to play with that water a little bit. I want a little bit more sparkle on the water. See if I can get that to happen. All right, now this is some little bit of line. Come in and get a couple things. Maybe I might say a little sharper. I'm also adding some texture, carving out some of the negative shapes right there, to really get that grass to really read nice. And it just gives it a little bit more of that texture and that layered kind of feel to it.
Another question. Do you ever use any kind of tools to create texture in your paintings?
I usually don't. If I do, that would be, typically for me, that would be if I was doing some kind of fun underpainting. I might do that, but I don't usually get out like anything. Every now and then I might use an eraser, like a pink pearl eraser. If I've laid down a dark or a chromatic underpainting, say with fluid acrylic, I might come in with a pink pearl eraser and carve something out. But that would kind of probably be the extent of using any kind of tools like that for me. And that, you know, mostly that's not because I'm against using tools. You know, for me, I'm always trying to make painting as fun as I can for myself and also as easy as I can, because if it's not easy, if I make it more complicated than it needs to be for me, then I just don't do it. I simply won't. So, you know, I just have a tendency overall to keep it pretty simple. And that's just me. Some people really like to, you know, go into the weeds of all the stuff, and that's fun too. But I just don't. And that's not to say that I don't experiment, because I do. Okay, let's see. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty much like it. I wish I'd gotten the leaves in the water a little bit better, the accumulation of leaves, but I'm kind of afraid to like go in there and do too much more, because I feel like I might mess it up. I shouldn't say that, but I kind of feel that way about it. So I'm kind of leaving it be with regards to that. But I like how these are in the distance. I like how this turned out. That feels really, I love what's going on right there. This is my favorite part of the painting. These little negative shapes, and it feels like light's coming through there. I like how this turned out. I think the foreground's pretty cool. That's neat. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the grasses in the foreground. But, you know, to me, I also feel like you kind of have to pick your battles a little bit. Like you can't, a photo like this, there's so much going on in it. Like, you know, what you got to choose. If you put every little thing in, it's just going to be, you know, probably too much. So,
do you want to put the frame up there to get a look at it?
Yeah.
And when you're done, of course.
Yeah, I'm almost there. Yeah. Yeah, just some fun stuff in there. That's pretty good. All right, let's throw that frame on here. Oh, good timing. Now I got to get out of the way, right?
Yeah, it's just a little bit. Yep.
There. Ew. Yeah, I think it's fun. It's nice and loose and gestural. Got a lot of calligraphy in there in the end, so this turned out pretty good. Okay. All right. I am off to the coast for a few days, so if you don't see me on Facebook as much, that's why. But I'm watching, and let's see what else. Make sure you go to paintinglessonswithmarla.com and check out our sale. Only 2 more weeks left of our monthly pastel painting lessons online sale. So this is the best time to get in there and check it out and sign up and subscribe. So thanks so much for watching today. I hope you have a lovely weekend and get to do something fun too. It's it's going to be good to get away from me a little bit. All right, you guys. See you soon. Thanks for watching.